All right, we are on air. It is Thursday, July 16th. Happy Thursday, everyone. It is Backdrop Thursday. And today we're just going to do a quick check-in on design tasks. I know it's been a couple of weeks since we've had a design meeting, so it'd be good to talk about what we're working on. So for Backdrop the product itself, we are working through a number of tiny cleanup tasks for the admin theme. We've gotten a bunch of those in already, but it looks like we are still working on a little bit of font size cleanup, particularly in the Views UI. There's just a lot of stuff all over that screen, so the font in Views UI has like a bunch of adjustments that are particular to it, and I think it would be good if we can get those under control. We also have a couple of major areas that could use user experience improvements, and those include not only the Views UI, which we're also working on for font reasons, but also the Layouts UI and the Field UI. Layouts UI has a meta issue, which I think is 345, that we're working on, and there's just a whole bunch of subtasks there, some of which have been done already, and some of which are not as high priority. But we are going to kind of crank through those and see if we can get the layout UI cleaned up a little bit. It's already looking much better than it was, which is good. And then Pipe Dream would be also to redo the Field UI. It was pretty good in Drupal 6. It got a little bit worse in Drupal 7. We know it's been bad through the entire Drupal 7 cycle. There's a bunch of work to improve it in Drupal 8 that hasn't really been done yet. I would love it if we could kind of collaborate with the Drupal 8 team and figure out what they're working on, and we could do the same kind of thing in Backdrop. That would be ideal. We, of course, could kind of revisit the whole Field UI problem space and come up with something new as well, which is much harder to do. But if we had someone who's super interested in getting that done, that would also be great for us. Our Field UI Pipe Dream issue is number 779. I think I cross-linked a bunch of the stuff that's going on Drupal.org there as well. And then, of course, all issues that require any front-end design or theme changes are tagged on GitHub with the audience design issue tag. And we do have a link in the agenda for anyone who wants to see that as well. Okay, so bigger picture, we have a lot of these little issues that we're working on for Backdrop the product, but we also have a style guide, which, thank you, Wes, has now been updated to use the latest version of Backdrop. So Backdrop 1.1 is including all of its JavaScript files and everything else that wasn't working on the previous version. It's now there, which is fantastic. We even have like example images being pulled in. I'm just looking at it now. It looks great. So I think this should be a good starting point for us to kind of holistically look at where we're at with the style guide and see if there's anything we're missing. I know there's one issue that just kind of stands out to me just as I'm looking at it, which is the active column sort color on tables is really, really dark. I think that's something that carried over from the previous theme, and we hadn't actually thought about that in the new theme. I know I looked at it and went, that's kind of dark, and then moved on, and then Darius saw it and went, that wasn't what it was supposed to be. But I'm not sure we actually thought that through. I'm not sure there was anything it was supposed to be, which is why it ended up the same as it was before. But there's just some little stuff if anyone wants to kind of take a look at the style guide and see things like that, offer suggestions, file pull requests against the style guide. We can then use those same changes, maybe even the same pull requests, against Backdrop the project itself to get those changes in, which I think would be great. Field sets, I think we also had a little, I don't know, these look pretty good.
Yeah, we fixed those up. That got merged in.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, well, these look good. Okay, that's great. Vertical tabs even still look fine. I don't know. These all
I'm
look
making
good.
those responsive.
And yeah, there's an
Okay.
issue that Wes is working on to make those responsive too, which is awesome. Thank you, Wes. That's something that I was going to undertake, and then it got a lot hairier than I anticipated.
I think I have a good approach. I just need to sit down and do it. So
Great. Sorry in advance for the really loud phone.
house phone. What year is it?
I don't know. Could be any year.
The audience design, is that label meant for front-end dev tasks? You mentioned that a second ago, but I don't remember that label on the other front-end dev tasks. Should I start labeling things that is the real question I have? You're muted. Muted.
Sorry, I muted
There
myself
you
for the horrible phone.
go.
I would say if it actually requires like either a design review or designs, tag it with audience design. But if it's just a front end
Got
task, then
it.
don't worry about the tag.
Okay. Then I'm
Um,
removing that tag.
yeah.
And I need to tag vertical tabs then. Okay, cool.
And then, man, everything else is looking so much better. We've got the dialogues; they look good. Progress bar. In the style guide, it's still bright green. Did we end up changing the color, or is this the color?
There was feedback about the green, but it never got changed.
Okay. Well, I think if we get a new color, then we can evaluate it, but for now, it looks fine. It's not wanting with green, so I think it's fine. Yeah, it looks good. We even have like image styles. Everything's cute. Okay. Oh, backdrop, you're so cute. Okay. So I think that looks great. I think our process for style guide changes should be file progress against the style guide, and then if we like it, we'll merge it in. And then if we want that same thing to go into backdrop, we'll just do another pull request against backdrop. But so far, looks great. Other things we're working on, backdrop, not the product, but backdrop the infrastructure. So backdrop's primary website, backdropcms.org, we have a bunch of things in the works, including new designs for the modules page, which are completed, new designs for the modules node page, which are completed, new designs for the themes page, which I think are also really close to done. We've got a link in the agenda today if anyone wants to take a look at those. And then the theme node page, which I think we're also super close on. We're starting with the module theme. We're going to make module page, and we're going to make whatever changes we need to do that. In terms of how to proceed on those, we have a couple of different pieces. We need to build the view, which I don't think has been done yet on the site. And then we also need to style the view. And in order to do that, we need to get the designs somewhere where people can access them. Do you know, Nate, if they're in Dropbox already?
I am not certain about that.
I'm not certain either, because I know last time I was like, oh, let's try and hand this off to us, and then I didn't know how to actually hand off the designs.
Let me take a look.
I do have access to a backdrop folder in Dropbox, so something at some point got shared with me.
Are there designs in there?
Yeah, there are some for the modules, but I'm not sure about themes. Didn't we get a themes?
Yeah. Although it looks like it's in InVision.
Oh,
Right.
that's right. That's why it's there, because the themes thing was in InVision. Maybe we should just put a
Link
bookmark in that folder then, because, yeah.
If possible, I would prefer to have like just at minimum a PNG so I can just do pixel measurements.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be a good idea.
So maybe
Okay. Yeah, that's what.
I was just going to say we should send an email to Darius and ask for designs for the themes listing page.
And also, I did have some feedback I wanted from Darius on the vertical tabs, issue 515. I haven't heard back from him. I did @ him in
Okay.
GitHub, but yeah, it's issue 515. I just did like a pixel push, basically, of what's already. I took a screenshot and just like moved things around in Photoshop and said, okay, this is what it should look like at mobile, I think. And so as long as he is okay with like it as a wireframe, then I can keep going. But
Okay.
if he wants to completely change the structure of how I want it to work at mobile, then I don't want to waste my time.
Okay.
But I can do any polish if he wants to change a little bit of how it looks. That's
You do
no problem.
515, you said?
Huh? 515. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll
So
throw that in the email too, since we're asking him for a design file anyway, and see if he has time. Probably not today, because he's at a conference, but shortly.
cool.
All right. So I think it looks like the Find Layouts page and the Layout node are probably going to be on hold for a while, just because we ran out of design hours in our budget. But I think that that's probably fine, because they could use either the modules layout or the themes layout for the time being. I think we only have 1 or 2 layout projects right now anyway. So as long as you can find them and you can see them, it doesn't really matter if they don't have a layout that's customized to the layout. So I think we can make do with the designs that we have, even if we have to wait a little bit longer to get new designs specifically for layouts. They were least important just because there were fewer of them. And if we start getting more layout options in Backdrop, we can revisit that and push those forward earlier if we need to. So these are on hold for now, which I think is fine. All right. And then swag. We have really cute large and small backdrop stickers. One is computer size, one is phone size. It was accidental that we got the smaller ones, but they came out looking really cute, so I'm really excited about them anyway. We have T-shirts in the works. We've had a lot of success with everybody really liking our Backdrop logo shirts, but as soon as people found out we had a dragon, the question is, when can I get a T-shirt with a dragon on it? So we're going to work on T-shirts with a dragon on it. We're also going to work on getting new dragon illustration from our illustrator to see if we can get our Drop the Dragon in various different positions and see if one of those might be better suited to a T-shirt. I think the raised paw version is really cute, and that would definitely work on a T-shirt if we can't get a new illustration in time, but I think it would be fun to get some new options to play with anyway. So I will draft an email right now so I don't forget to send it to our designer about new dragon illustrations to see if we can get those going as well. We still have some square stickers and some long stickers that contain either just the logo mark or the logo and the word. I think we should probably order some more for Badcamp. Some of them take a while to order, so maybe we should do that sooner rather than later. But we are not completely out yet, so I think we're fine in terms of smaller events, but when we get to Badcamp, we'll probably need more of everything. All right, and then we have had a little bit of activity. Another thing that we need in terms of design stuff is assets for our online presence. We've been using some random fractal repeating image pattern that I found on the internet for like the background of our Twitter page and our Facebook page and Google Plus and stuff. And it would be good if we could have something that was kind of our own that helped really seal our identity a little bit. And we had an email from Esnois the last few days with some graphic imagery of mountains with balloons and some text on it, which I thought was actually pretty cute. And Darius had some good feedback from that as well, saying that it was a good first pass, but maybe slightly too literal, but he really liked the idea of the photo, and he wanted to try and get some kind of graphic pattern mixed in with the photo and sent some example of those, and I thought those actually looked pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to seeing the next version on that. I think we are inching closer in terms of getting some permanent imagery on there, which I think looks great. All right, so other things we're working on, we've got this human interface guidelines document, which will help tell people when they should use which interface elements in the software. We haven't gotten a lot of work done on it lately, just because we've been doing a bunch of other stuff too. I think it would be great if somebody wanted to kind of own that. I know we had a bunch of activity on it initially, and then that kind of stopped. So if anyone else wanted to come take it over, we need to figure out what elements we should use where, and then once we have that documented, we need to make sure that we're actually doing what we say we should do with it. In core, I know we tend to be a little sloppy about using some interfaces in some places and some interfaces in others. One other thing I think we should add is that Nate and I have been doing a presentation called Introducing Backdrop CMS for a while. It has a bunch of slides and assets that other people have asked for as they are now also doing backdrop presentations. And after we did that presentation, was it yesterday? 2 days ago, in Pacific Grove for the Science on Drupal event, I started trying to turn them into a Reveal.js presentation so that everyone could have them. And I ran into some snags when figuring out like how do we actually share things if we're not trying to share the Reveal.js code, we're just trying to share like the index file. But I thought maybe what we could do is we could have like a backdrop specific theme, and then we could put anyone who wants to do any backdrop presentation could put all of the slides into the same folder or something, and then we could have this community repository of public backdrop stuff, and you can pick and choose whatever theme you want, which seemed like it would be a lot of fun. So I don't know how to do that, Wes, but maybe you can help me find a way to put it all together. So far what I have is like a public folder that has Reveal.js in it and like a license file and a README file, and that's kind of it. But I do have an index file that contains most of the slides. I think there's like 4 or 6 left or something. I'll get those all packed in there, and then I'll commit that. And then if you want to pull those out and figure out like how to make them prettier, that would be cool. Or I'm having problems with like a 4-column layout where I'm trying to list like all of the popular modules in 4, and I'll let you guys do whatever you want with how to organize that. But I think that would be helpful. I know there's a whole bunch of people who are giving talks on Backdrop coming up in 2 weeks, so I'll try and push that up today so you guys at least have something to work with there. And then I'm not sure what our process should be for letting people work on that repository. I feel like, Wes, I should just add you so that you can just kind of run with it. But in the future, if anyone else wants to contribute back, I would say submit a pull request. If you want to own it, I don't know, maybe open an issue and say, like, I want to do whatever. Yeah, I think that would be fine. And we can just kind of let people use those as requested. I think that sounds like a good plan. Okay, well that's all I had. I did want to add the reveal stuff because I thought that would be pretty cool to the agenda. But that's it. Other than that for this week, is there anything else either of you want to add, design related or otherwise, or have questions?
I don't have anything.
I don't know if it's design related, but I'm attacking the one like responsive admin ticket that has just a ton of stuff laid out. So I started with the vertical tabs, but I'll just keep working down that list unless anything comes up. And then obviously the themes and module page I'll start working on.
Okay, that'd be fantastic.
That's important. So cool.
All right.
Fantastic.
Well, thanks for jumping in. I guess that's it. Well, we'll see you guys in half an hour, maybe.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye, guys.